The lesson is this. Inside of doing shit that I suck at, and that is running every single day, I get to figure out what my stories are. Like, I get to figure out what are the mindset, like how strong am I mentally? What I start to realize is when I'm doing shit that I'm good at, aka give me some ads to write, let me build a funnel, let me market, let me sell, let me promote some shit, let me talk, let me coach. Easy. All right, welcome back here to another episode on the Modern Man podcast. I am excited to share this with you inside of my red jacket here today. Now, of course, if you're listening to the audio, you wouldn't know that if you're watching this on YouTube, on Facebook, then you can see this bright red jacket. It's actually really cool. What happens is now I'm very visible to Kerry when we go shopping, and she's with her and she can see me like a kilometer away. And it was really funny because her and I were actually walking down the street one day and my friend shouted out from a mile away. He shouted out, Lynn, Lynn, Lynn. And ever since then, Kerry and I have had a chuckle to do with this red. I love red. Red's one of my favorite colors. Don't know why. I think it's got to do with blood. I think it's got to do with, how cool red was. Maybe bringing me back to Power Rangers. If you ever watched Power Rangers as a kid, you know that Red Ranger was the most amazing Power Ranger. Now, that being said, what I wanted to dive in today was talk about a leadership topic and that leadership issue and topic that I want to discuss here is a powerful topic that's actually going to help you. It's actually helped me profoundly. It's doing shit that you suck at and finding your commitment and finding your courage to do the shit that you continually suck at, so that one day when you do something enough that you suck at, you actually get good at it. And when you get good at it, you start enjoying it. But when you suck at shit, you don't enjoy it. And what do I mean by this? Well, I am a strength athlete. I say that and I laugh. I'm not a strength athlete. I like to train in the gym, right? I like to lift weights. And over the last, I'm 30 now. Over the last 13 years, when I was 17, when I was a personal trainer, I started out being a personal trainer, finished year 12, went in to do personal training, thought that would give me the secrets to getting six-pack. I became a personal trainer, started lifting weights. And ever since then, I didn't do any cardio. Like, it's some weird thing about going into the gym and you become a gym rat and you don't do any cardio whatsoever. So I didn't do any cardio. Because what do? Like, you lift weights in the gym, that's all. You're kind of stuck indoors. I didn't enjoy any boot camp. I didn't enjoy any running around the botanical gardens here in Melbourne. I didn't enjoy any of that stuff, right? I wasn't a runner. And so what happened was I started to develop this strong physique. I got more muscle because obviously the more weights you begin to lift, the more muscle you get, because muscle helps you lift weight, and those go hand in hand. Those correlate together. And so there's one thing that I completely sucked at, and that was the running. Like, for my whole entire life, I sucked at running. And so in 2020, this year, a few months ago, Kerry asked me, hey, why don't you do an Ironman? And I was like, what? Something weird popped up. I think we were going to start running again. COVID-19 hit. We got trapped indoors. The gym was a little bit small. I was starting to get like a little bit of this gym rat mentality. I don't want to be stuck in the gym all day. We're already inside all day. Why do I want to be in the gym in my garage with weights when I want to go out there and get some fresh air? So I started to run. And I started to run like 10 minutes a day. The running started out as 10 minutes. And I thought if I could do 10 minutes a day, it's going to be phenomenal. So I started running for 10 minutes in May. And then it was crazy because I'm running on the air runner in the gym, and Kerry's like, why don't you start running outdoors with me? So I go for a run with Kerry. And where we live in Sorrento and Bulgaria here, we've got back trails, back beaches, and we run through it. I'm chasing her for the very first time. We're going through these back trails, and it's all bushy and shit, and there's stairs and there's sand, and it's like a scene from the jungle, right? And Kerry, she's half my weight and she's just bouncing around like a rabbit, and all I see is her glutes. She's got amazing glutes. She's worked on them for the last 5 years, but she's got amazing glutes. So all I see is I just see her glutes. It's like a little bunny just running ahead of me, and I'm trying to chase her. Like, I'm trying to hunt down the bunny, trying to chase down the glutes, and I'm breathing. I'm severely breathing. I'm unfit, right? I can lift some weights. I can train in the gym for an hour, but regards to fitness, I'm completely unfit. By the way, segue. I don't believe that going to the gym has anything to do with fitness. I don't believe that looking good on like Instagram and fitness and muscles has anything to do with fitness. It's completely crazy. that would correlate the two. Having muscles most of the time is most people just being a gym rat in the gym, focused on contracting their muscles, and fitness is actually, like, I look at fitness and performance as a different category. So here I am, being a gym rat my entire life, trying to chase Kara down. I'm trying to hunt her down. I start to realize, holy shit, I can't keep up with her. She ends up beating me home. Like, we do like this 3 kilometer track. It's not even that far. And I just feel humiliated, not humiliated because she beat me. She's great. She's fit. But she just became a mum. Like, she just became a mum. And for me, like, she lost her body. She lost her fitness. She lost her strength. She's beating me. And what's really funny is when she's becoming a mum, I'm developing dad bod. Like, I'm going through this same experience. I don't know if it's a phenomenon, it's just me, but I'm going through the same experience as her, developing like dad bod. Like, I'm turning pear-shaped, my metabolism starts to slow down, my stomach feels soft and squishy, all of this shit, right? And so inside of my mind, I have this mental snap and I go, okay, I'm going to start running every fucking day. I'm going to start running every day and I get better at running. And so I start off with 3 kilometers, can barely run 3Ks. And I want to show you a journey here. This is going to blow your mind. But here's the lesson of the day. Here is the lesson. So right now, like, we are in, like, where are we? August 15th. Here's a nice 14-kilometer run. Shitty pace. For me, it's as long as I can get through the run, we are sweet. Here you go. Here's what I mean. This is a 3.45 kilometer run. Shitty as shit. 7-kilometer run. But I started running, and I've run about 250 kilometers over the last 2 to 3 months, which has been immensely proud. Here's the lesson. The lesson is this. Inside of doing shit that I suck at, and that is running every single day, I get to figure out what my stories are. Like, I get to figure out what are the mindset, like, how strong am I mentally? What I start to realize is when I'm doing shit that I'm good at, aka give me some ads to write, let me build a funnel, let me market, let me sell, let me promote some shit, let me talk, let me coach. Easy. Easy as easy. The problem with this is this, like, getting good at something and being good at something, staying good at something can only get you so far. It's only in an attempt for us to grow and expand. If I want to grow and expand, I want to learn about money, I want to learn about wealth, I want to learn about investments, I want to learn about real estate, I want to learn about accounting and taxes, all of these things. What I started to notice was, like, the same shit as running. I didn't like it. I'm like, well, I kind of like doing this. Well, why don't I focus on this? But my awareness and my growth never expanded to all these things. The problem with this is the same mentality I had in running. What I started to realize was I'm very weak. And so I start to realize that when I suck at something, I don't like doing it. And because I don't like doing it, I have stories around it. And if I have stories around it, I can never get better at it. And ultimately, if I don't get better at it, I can't get the fruit and the gifts of what it is. Now, running is an amazing sport. People that can run, people that do triathlons, fucking phenomenal. I think it's very performance based. I think that, you know, you get the ability to breathe, you get the ability to be outdoors, to connect with nature, something that me, being a 30-year-old, never got to do my whole entire life. Like, I'm stuck indoors. I'm like, there's life out there that I don't know exists because I'm too busy indoors being a gym rat, and I'm too busy indoors being a business rat, that I haven't actually got to fulfill and feel fulfilled and experience life itself, culture. Going out and traveling, going out and going for a hike, going to, like, Yosemite was one of the biggest breakthroughs I made with Kerry last year in April. Just being able to hike for 5 days Yosemite, and that was just in itself almost divine. I almost found this connection, this spiritual connection. It's crazy. But I go back to this because often at times inside of the runs itself, I want to give up. Often at times I want to say, fuck it, like, my leg hurts. Oh my God, I can't breathe. Oh my God. There's always an excuse in the run. And the longer I run, the more chances I have for an excuse. And inside of that moment, that's when I get to train my brain. That's when I get to train myself and catch myself to start to realize, okay, what are these excuses that I'm not even fucking aware of? Because as men, what happens is we think we can do shit. But the problem is we don't do shit because there are stories and excuses that are holding us back. And if we don't actually become aware of them, what happens is we can't get over them. You can't, like, beat something that you're not aware of. So what I started to realize was this mentality in just committing, and there are going to be some days that are bad, there are going to be other days that are better. And what happens is this. The lesson is, if you continue to show up every single day, like, regardless of how it felt, whether it was good, whether it was bad, you'll become so good at the thing that you're doing that you'll actually enjoy it. And when you enjoy it, it becomes aligned to you and becomes a part of you. And in that moment, people are going to look back and they're going to be like, well, how'd you get so good at this? It's kind of crazy. You have a look at some of the best people in the world that play basketball. They don't play basketball because they want to be famous. They play basketball because they love basketball. And how they got so good at basketball was just the desire to just love the game and love the process and love training and love shooting hoops and love doing all that stuff. Generally, people at the top got to the top not because they wanted to get to the top, but because they fell in love with the process and they just explored it and they kept on searching. And so in business, it's kind of the same thing. You know, you build a successful business truly out of your skill sets because you're so good at that thing because you just want to get better at it. And that's how you begin to build brand, because that's when you get to be known as the best. So if you're stuck here, the challenge that I'm going to get you to do and think about today is taking on something new and seeing if you can do 30 days of it. 30 days to just catch yourself and commit to 30 days and to go, hey, you know what? I want to go through 30 days. The reality is, if you're listening to this show, there's a reason why you're here. There's something that you want to change. There's some growth that you want to make. But I always say this, a lot of awareness is one thing, but being able to switch the awareness, the information that you have out here that you can see, that you can hear, that you can feel, being able to switch that, put it inside of your brain and use it. But that requires you to let go of the current information that's inside of your brain. Like, I have this cup. It's a cup, it's a glass, and your brain's like a glass, and if it's full, right, you can't actually absorb anything else in it. And what that means is you can't actually absorb any new stories and behaviors and patterns that you want to use unless you let the old ones go. You can learn more information, but I'm talking about using information, which means you've got to change your habits, your beliefs, your identity, your stories. You've got to let some stories go, and then you've got to take on some new ones that's going to empower you to do some shit. So with that being said, I hope you enjoyed this episode. I hope this somewhat brought some value to you. I hope it inspires you to go. You might see my Ironman journey. It could be 2021, which I begin to go, which is fine. Like, I'm not in any rush. And part of not being in any rush is, we'll talk about this hopefully sometime, is being okay with who you are and doing shit because it makes you happy, and truly knowing what makes you happy. And what all you're going to realize is there's a lot of things that you're doing that don't make you happy, but you're just doing it because you feel like you have to. That's not a great way to live your life. Anyway, brother, I hope you have an amazing day. I'm checking out right now. I'll see you on the next episode. Thanks so much for tuning in.